What's good, y'all? Quick message for you real quick. In life, everybody know that when life, it be lifing. When lifes, it be lifing. And one thing that you got to understand is sometimes when your back is against that wall, and at that moment when it's against the wall, you start feeling overwhelmed. You're in a moment in your life where you're stressed out. You can be confused. You know what I'm saying? You can feel like you tapped out. You ain't got no more to give. You can't take another step. Sometimes you got to ask Spirit to order your steps. You have to ask Spirit to order your steps, meaning ask Spirit to tell you, show me, guide me which way I should go. Guide me and teach me the decision that I need to make. You see what I'm saying? Show me that decision I need to make. Show me which way I need to take that next step. And I know sometimes, depending on what you're going through at that moment, when your back is against the wall, we tend to lean towards our own understanding a lot. We tend to try to figure out, how to get up out of that thing that we in, or, get through the situations we dealing with. And, I feel like that's something that we naturally do, But sometimes in life, when you dealing with things, you have to ask Spirit to order your steps. And when you ask Spirit to order your steps, another thing you got to ask Spirit to do is help to teach you to be still. Teach me to be still while you're ordering my steps. Meaning, when you're in those situations and your back is against the wall and you're going through life and life be lifing for you, sometimes because we in our head, we emotional at that time, we might make other decisions, calling ourselves trying to get us out of the situations that we in, to help the problems that we're dealing with. Sometimes you might make decisions that make the problem even worse. Because you're too much in your head about things, you're too much in your feelings about things. And it's one thing, to sit there and be like, I trust Spirit, like the other video I made the other day where I said, Spirit, I trust you. Yeah, Spirit, I trust you. But sometimes you can sit there and say, Spirit, I trust you, but do you really trust Spirit? Because saying it and actually being about it, actually showing that you trust Him, is two different things. And one way to let Spirit know that you trust it is by being still in that moment. When you call out and say, Spirit, I trust you, teach me to be still. Teach me to not make any irrational decisions. Teach me to not be in my head so much to where I make my situation even worse than what it is. You see what I'm saying? I had to learn that in my life, and it's the greatest thing, one of the greatest things I have learned. Because now I know that, yeah, we go through our storms and our trials and tribulations, but I have an understanding now through my experiences that everything that happens to me in my life ain't meant for me to fight. Everything that happens to you, everything that goes on in your life, it ain't meant for you to fight. It ain't your battle all the time. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to give it to God. Sometimes you got to give it to Spirit in the universe. And I'm so glad I learned that, because now when I feel like something is too much for me to carry, like if that's too heavy of a burden for me, Spirit, I'm gonna just put it in your hands. I give it to you. I'm gonna put it in your hands because I can't handle that. You see what I'm saying? I can't handle it. And then the greatest thing about it is you don't have to. You don't have to carry a burden that you feel like you're not capable of carrying. See, but we so used to, and a lot of us out here, we're used to, being independent, and everybody don't have people to lean on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have somebody they can call on if they need help, or if they're in a bind, or whatever situation. People out here winging life. A lot of people out here winging life. No matter what they going through, they taking everything on the chin. You know what I'm saying? And they still got to figure out how to keep going. They still got to figure out how to keep standing. But despite that, despite the fact that you may not have nobody to lean on, despite the fact that you may not have nobody you can call on, and you've been out here in this world by yourself, doing your own thing, doing the best you can. Understand that you don't have to fight everything that happens in your life. That's not always your battle. Sometimes you got to give it to God and keep going. Sometimes that's another test. You don't have to keep stressing yourself out over every little thing that happens in your life. Give it to God. Give it to Spirit. Give it to the universe. Let them know, like, I can't handle this. So I'm going to give it to y'all. You feel me? I'm going to put it in your hands because I don't have what it takes to handle that. And it's okay that if you feel like that, that's okay. It don't make you weak. You just have an understanding that that's too heavy. You know what I'm saying? Some things, yes, a lot of things you gotta, fight through. But not everything. We may not have someone in the physical world that we can call on, somebody you can pick up your phone and call, somebody you crying, you ain't got no actual shoulder to lean on, but spiritually you got people to call on. We all have people that we can call on. You see what I'm saying? So understand that sometimes when your back is against that wall and you're feeling overwhelmed and you stressed out and you feel like you ain't got no more to give, ask Spirit to order your steps. Please order my steps. And as you're ordering my steps, please teach me to be still. As you're ordering my steps, I don't want to make any decisions. I don't want to get too caught up in my emotions. I don't want to get too caught up in my head. Because I trust you that much.